Hey, good morning. Here's my plan for 2024. You're getting Christmas lights because it's early. I put it on, I think it's called old school for fun here because it's way too early to do a video of myself, but I can do an audio. This is my plan. I'm just going to talk through it here real quick for 2024, give you an idea of what I'm up to and if you'd like to be a part of it. And also, this is very much, I'm walking the talk of my process for creation, which is outlined in my book called 17 Hours, where there's a 17-hour methodology. Starts at 4 p.m., ends at 9 a.m. Right now it's early in the morning. And here, I'll tell you how it works in case you're looking for how to get some clarity in your life with your ideas, with your plans. At 4 p.m. in the afternoon, 4 p.m. in the afternoon, obvious, right? You don't eat anymore after 4. So the fancy word is intermittent fasting. The better word is skipping dinner. I remember talking to somebody on a podcast and I was like, I just skipped dinner. I say, oh, is that intermittent fasting? Yes, it is. I like to make things simple. I like to make things doable. I like to make things finishable. In fact, that's very much where we're going in 2024. So that you skip dinner from 4 p.m. You go to bed, ideally an hour, even better, 2 hours early. And you're going to sleep better because you don't eat. Because you skip dinner, your body is less busy with digestion. Digestion takes a lot of energy. And so if you don't have to digest your dinner, especially a big old dinner, then your body has more energy to work on sleeping and work on resting and work on rejuvenating your body. So then what happens is that you usually wake up earlier. And by the way, if this doesn't happen the first time, just keep practicing. I like Thursday nights, and then I call Friday Fast Friday because it's fast, because it's quick, because I'm speedy, I'm on top of things, I'm clever, and I can see things more clearly, like right now. So that's Fast Friday. Skip dinner on Thursday. You go to bed 2 hours earlier, you wake up 2 hours earlier, and then you do meditation. I'm happy to share my favorite meditations. Currently, I'm really into an app called Insight Timer. Great stuff on there. Do a meditation, go deep if you're not familiar with meditations. In fact, look at in Insight Timer. I actually have a meditation in there. Just look in Insight Timer, look up my name. You'll find me. Then create. So there's fast, meditate, create. So I think this part is the part that people probably skip, but I think it's the most important. And this is, in fact, what I'm doing right now. Now, you don't need to make yours public. I make mine public because that's just, I kind of like the accountability. Because if I make this public, I have more chance that I'm going to follow through on what I want to do. So that's that. That is the book. It's called 17 Hours. If you look on any bookstore under my name and 17 Hours, you'll find my book about that practice. 17 hours from 4 p.m. to 9 a.m. That is not what we're talking about today, although it is a tool to get to the clarity you might get to plan your coming year. So here's for 2024. I'm going to do a really quick little note about, it's a really big program, but it's not what I want to talk about this morning. So the thing I don't want to talk about this morning is the anthologies. Probably starting out with just now what, question mark, exclamation point. It's an anthology collection of different authors, one chapter each. I think I'm looking at 1,000 to 2,000 words each. Every person writes a chapter. The idea is you have a now what moment in your life. Now what, I just got divorced. Now what, I got a new job. Now what, I moved to Europe. Now what, see what I'm going? So you had a big experience. Now what, my parents have passed away. Now what, XYZ. So it's going to be a collection of different people's stories, but not just the story and not just the question of now what, but the answer. And then ideally, It's going to have some resolution or solution or plan van aanpak in Dutch, plan of attack, plan of solution, plan to how to get it done. So if you're interested in that, you can always go to anthology.repossible.com, or specifically for that book, it's nowwhat.repossible.com. That's also in 2024. And yet, here's the biggie for 2024, and this is why it's early. And part of the 17-hour process, by the way, is I came from my meditation, I turned on the Christmas lights, and I hit record. I didn't have breakfast, I didn't have coffee, I didn't have tea, I didn't do anything else. I didn't do anything. I pet Pepper once, right? He was asleep. So it's really important because we have that clarity earlier on in the morning, and it will diminish over the day. If you're a night person, it's maybe in the reverse, but for morning people, or for those who have their clarity in the mornings, you'll realize that so at sleep, you have dreams. Dreams can be very clear, especially if you get into conscious dreaming, lucid dreaming, and then you wake up, and then ideally, immediately, or as fast as you can, maybe go use the bathroom, and then as fast as you can get into meditation, because you're still in that state of mind, that clear state of mind where you can reach your higher self, you can connect better with your higher vibration, with your higher frequency, where the better ideas come from. So that's why I went from sleep to, oh, and by the way, when you do fasting, usually if you get used to it, you wake up just quicker, faster, easier, better, smarter, cleverer, clearer, with more energy. So how's that for a benefit? And then you jump into your meditation, preferably in a chair, preferably not in your bed, although I often meditate in my bed, but I prefer, and it's always better when I'm sitting in a chair. And then that's why I go hit record right away, because of the clarity I could feel it seeping away already, right? I had it super clear, and that's why I want to record really quickly. So there we go. I see I'm at 7 minutes, and I haven't even got to my main plan for 2024, but I want to give you tools as well to get to your next year, to get to your plan for coming up. Okay, here we go, 2024, ready? I just put out a book, November 17th, 2023. Today, by the way, is December 23rd, 2023. Ooh, 23, that's kind of fun. This morning, I have seen it more clearly than I have ever seen it about this particular book, but also it is rather clear from me and super strong as to what this is all about. And I can tell you a lot of it is structure. So November 17th, 2023, I published a book called How to Write Your First Book in a Weekend. And it's really fun. It's been an evolution from how to write your best book in a week, how to write your best book ever, how to write your worst book ever, how to write your shortest book ever. A lot of variations on the theme. I've done workshops, I've done live workshops, I've done Zoom workshops, I've done courses, I've done books. I have my own one-word book. I have my own short books. I have a 3-word book. So, and a lot of people have come through the program with success and fun and laughs and breakthroughs. It's really about the breakthrough. In fact, for 2024, that's my word for you, or for a client, or for a reader, is breakthrough. I want you to break through in 2024, and I'm going to help you get there. So how am I going to help you get there? Now, with the idea of how to write your first book in a weekend, and this is still possible, but I have different flavors of that book, right? If you want to write fiction, by the way, I'll share with you software that will help you with the structure of your fiction. I'm not an experienced fiction writer. I like writing fiction, it's fun, but I can't say I'm an expert at it or anything. So fiction is possible. I'm more of a nonfiction guy. More definitely personal development, self-help, breakthrough, change, habits, rituals. So I had talked about your worst book ever, so you could write like a joke book that is just a terrible book, but I really want you to finish the book. That's the idea. I have had the opposite book, where you have your big idea and you write the opposite version. I've had, what else have we had? You've had shortest book, which could be just a really short version. We've had sort of like lead magnet teaser book, which is sort of an introduction, like a trailer for a movie. And that could be a short book, which leads into your bigger idea. But here we go. this is where the clarity has come through for me. And because here's what's happening, even with shortest book, even with worst book, I've had several people coming through the program recently, and they're still getting stuck. I'm like, why are you getting stuck? And of course, I've written 36 books, and people are always like, oh, you've written 36 books, and they haven't written their first, and it's frustrating. And that's my biggest goal. I want you to break through with that first book. So how can I help you do that? And now I have the answer. As of today, December 23rd, 2023, I'm either going to change up the How to Write Your First Book in a Weekend and focus it on how to write your first one-word book in a weekend. You ready? Crazy, right? So I currently have a book, and it's called The One-Word Book That Will Probably Change Your Life. And here's an idea for the title of your book, and it's The One-Word Book That Will Probably Change My Life. So this book is for you. It's not necessarily to publish. You can publish it if you want, but it's for you. You are the reader, you are the writer, and you are the reader. You are the marketing team, and you are the audience. That's what this book is about. This book is for you, of you, by you, the people. It's for you. So it's a one-word book. So there's going to be a chapter, and that chapter is going to have one single word. It's currently December. This is a great idea for New Year's resolutions. And of course, you could write that one word on a napkin. You could spray paint it on your garage door. Sorry, I don't know where that idea came from. But I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to dig a deeper foundation. And by that, we're going to write a book. And the book, so really, it really will just have one chapter. Chapter 1, your word. That's it, right? So that word's important, but there are elements around the book that I think are probably at least as important. And those are, I'm just going to list them, and I'll talk more about this in the book and more in the program. Because, by the way, I want to have a book, but then I want to have also a group program where we do it live in a weekend, 2 versions, either on Zoom or in person. In fact, I can already tell you the dates. For January, that's going to be on Zoom, and that's January 19, 20, and 21. That's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you'd like to join us, I'll put a link in here. And it's going to be, if you sign up for the weekend program, currently it's $97 or euros or something. And that's going to give you access to the weekend. And that's going to be Zoom calls and live and Q&A, and we're going to get stuff done, and we're going to get the book done. And the book is just one word, but I'm going to tell you more about the rest of the book. And then in person, I think the weekend is February 16, 17, I think it is. And I'm thinking about a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I can't look at my calendar right now, but I think it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe 15, 16, 17, not sure. Or 16, 17, 18. Check it out. And that's going to be live in person in the Netherlands. And there's definitely going to be a limited number of seats for that, but we're going to be doing that. We're going to be writing and starting and finishing a one-word book in one live day. I think Friday will be on Zoom, and Sunday will be on Zoom, and Saturday will be live, something like 10 to 4, in the middle of the Netherlands. If you'd like to sign up for that, I'll also have a spot at the URL, by the way, for all of this is going to be like the letter U, like university, u.repossible.com/p/weekend, P probably for program, u.repossible.com/p/weekend. Ready? So the book, the structure, here's the structure of your book, and this is why it's longer than one word. And I will lay this out in the book, I will lay this out in the program, I will describe in more detail every section of the book. But here it is quickly. There's going to be an epigraph, and an epigraph is a quote. You're going to use my favorite site to go find a quote, and you're going to find a quote that is relevant to your word, to your book, to your plan for the year. Then you're going to have a dedication. Who is this dedicated to? Is it dedicated to you? That'd be great. Remember, it's all about you. This book's about you. We're probably not going to publish it. You can, but I'm going to publish mine, but I publish like everything. So this is for you. This book's for you. Dedication. So who's it for? Who's related? I don't know. There's going to be acknowledgements, I think, is at the end. So dedication. Who's it for? Then, so speaking of acknowledgements, I don't know what this is called. I got to figure out the term, but, and this is, I'm kind of getting off track here, but I want to, sorry. I heard something, or it might be Pepper breathing. Wow, it's quiet. Then I want to, okay, this is a little off track, but you'll understand later. I'd like to acknowledge the one word weekend book program. And because, why do I want to do that? Because if you do share your book, I would love other people, and yes, this is totally self-promotion here, but I would love for you to promote your book and to promote the program. And in fact, and this is going way off topic, but I have an affiliate program where then the people you share it with, you get a commission on that sale. So as you can tell, that's way off topic, but that's part of it. Hey, you want to know my plan for 2024? That's part of my plan. What is part of my plan? I help you, you help me. I help you, you help others help me, right? And so it's a win-win-win. Think about it. It's a win for you. You've written your book. It's a win for the person who reads your book because they also have a breakthrough, and then they are led to their breakthrough, and then they're led to me, to my book, to my program, the Write Your First Book in a Weekend program. So more on that later. You can always go to ambassador.repossible.com and check out more about my ambassador program. It's the happy people who have been through my books or programs who want to share the love and also share their stories. So there's also stories.repossible.com. I know there's a lot of links. Ambassador.repossible.com. More on that, not today, but that's just something because, hey, this is kind of my little 2024 story here. So that's part of it. Part of my marketing plan is viral marketing, right? Is you're excited about the thing I did for you and you want to share it and so get other people excited. Because my best success story is your success story. Who just made that up? Okay, we're not even to the heart of the book. Then there's the preface. Now I need to look this up, whether it's called preface or introduction, but usually the preface is the why are you, the author, writing this book? So it's a prologue, and that's where I get into the differences. The prologue or the preface or the introduction as to why this book exists. Why are you doing this? Why are you writing this one-word book? So, and you might have noticed I haven't said my one word. I absolutely know what my one word is. In fact, I'm not even sure I can wait until January 19, 20, and 21 to write my own book. I think I'm going to get it done like today because I'm so excited about my one word. And as you'll see with my one word, it's very related to all of this. In fact, I even have my cover in mind. I can totally see my cover. It's absolutely clear what it is. So this is your preface. Your preface is why, in the present moment, why you're writing this book. Okay? That's your story. And so I don't care if it's 3 words or 3,000 words, whatever you want. Then we get to chapter 1. Chapter 1 is, I'm not kidding. I don't kid about this stuff. I joke a lot, but I'm pretty darn hardcore about certain things. And I really, really, really recommend that this is one word. If your word is a hyphen in it, or it really needs to be 2 words, fine. But I think one word is ideal. And one little note on this word. If you think about, like I talked to somebody and she said, oh, lose weight. So first of all, that's 2 words. But then I thought, okay, what lose weight is the means? What's the end? So if your word for 2024 is lose weight, why do you want to lose weight? What is the benefit that losing weight is going to get you? So that's the kind of thinking I'd like you to do for this one-word book. What is it? What's the deeper word? If the word, and that's fine, if the word is lose weight, I don't know, maybe we can find another word reduce or something. Then so what would be the benefit of lose weight? Why do we want to lose weight? Well, let me see. I mean, for me, I like to lose weight because I feel better. I actually feel sharper. I have more energy. I have more balance. I feel less sluggish. What are all of these things doing? And, I just said one word right there, maybe energy. Maybe that's my word. And why lose? So is lose weight could be a part of it, but then the energy is my word. Okay, here we go. That's your word. Now, I can see, oh my goodness, I am in the 20th minute of this video. Now, normally I wouldn't do this because sometimes I like to hold back and leave certain things. But if you have listened to 20 minutes of my podcast, of my YouTube channel, you deserve to hear what I want to do for the epilogue, right? We had epigraph first. Epigraph is the quote. Then we had dedication. The epilogue, so if you think of a movie or even a book, but often in a movie, the end and the movie's over, and then it says like a little flash on the screen, like 10 years later, or, the next day or something. And so here, this chapter, and I might be a little secretive about this. So if you're hearing this, you're hearing a bit of the secret. But this epilogue is written from the perspective of you 1 year later. You've got your book, you got your present prologue. Here's my book, here's my word. This is why I'm writing this book. So back to lose weight. I'm a little overweight. I want to lose weight. And then maybe you get into, maybe if the word's energy, right? You that's what you talk about in the prologue. It's the present moment. You haven't yet succeeded with your word. You haven't yet implemented your word. And then there's your word, and that's your word for the next year. And then the epilogue is you place yourself in the future and you're looking back and you're going to write from the future. So, it could start out, this past year has been wonderful, right? This past year has been whatever it's been. I want to thank myself for writing my one-word writing my one-word book called Energy. By the way, I really think the title could be the one-word book that probably changed my life. The word probably, by the way, comes from my favorite advertisement from Carlsberg beer, where it says probably the best beer in the world. I just think it's brilliant and witty and clever and intelligent and makes you think. And that's what I like about it. Because if I said the one-word book that changed my life, like, okay, did it? I mean, are you sure? And so probably is going to make you work for it. So I like the title. In fact, if we all titled our books the one-word book that probably changed my life, that would be kind of fun, right? There's a whole bunch of books out there called that, and yet they're all written by different people. Wouldn't that be cool? So where are we? We're in the epilogue. And remember, I might hold this back in like my marketing, in my talking about this program, because I think this is key and this is crucial. And this is kind of the secret weapon of this book. Because if you write your words, that's one thing. That's great. That's a huge step, especially if you already have your word. And by the way, about the word, you're going to say, Bradley, I don't know my word. And here's another secret I'm probably not going to totally unleash, for free, so to speak. But I believe that you know your word already. It's buried in clutter. It's in the attic. It's in a box in the cellar. Or it's buried in other words, but you know your word. And maybe you need to do a process like I just did with lose weight and find that the word might be energy, right? I need more energy. I want more energy. And the year is going to be energy, okay? So that's that. So the epilogue is the year you're going to write from the future, looking back on the year. And you are going to be thankful and grateful for how this year played out. How did it go? what happened. You can be as specific as you want. And this is where this chapter, or this section of the book, this might be 3,000 words. I don't know, right? This could be 24 words. It could be 3 pages, could be 30 pages. And this is where, in as much or as little detail as you want to go, you are going to map out your year. And okay, back to losing weight and energy. It depends on how much detail I want to get into. I don't want to get bogged down in detail. I don't want to not finish this epilogue. Because remember, we're going to get this book done in a weekend. Sunday, and we're done. We're going to have fun. We're going to have it done. So I could say this past year, my word was energy. I skipped dinners on Thursday nights, and that really helped me with clarity, courage, and confidence on Friday mornings. I was then able to reduce my weight, and that gave me a more balanced energy. And through this balanced energy, I was able to then create, I'm just making this up as I go along here, right? I was able to then create my new podcast that I recorded every Friday. Right? So I'm making this up as I go along, right? But can you see how by looking back from the future, and I'm making up the year as I want it to play out this way. And here's the crazy, crazy fun part is that you can then live your coming year from that future state of mind. Did you catch that part? So I have the energy that my future 1 year from now self has. And what is that future self in this example? That future 1 year self has energy, because that was my word. And so I have more of it. And by the way, I've lost weight. But then I've probably realized, I've probably realized that not only have I lost weight, but I have more balanced, I have more stable energy, I have more consistent energy. I don't have dips in the afternoon. Here it's just in my world, like I've pretty much quit alcohol. And that's been a huge boost to my energy. So in 2023, I also decided to quit alcohol or severely limit alcohol. I have maybe I became vegetarian, right? So with this epilogue, and remember, this idea is so fresh, and this is why I'm doing this, because I skipped dinner last night, I went to bed early, and I had a great meditation. And in fact, I was like impatient during my meditation because I wanted to come get to the creation. That's what I want for you, by the way. That's what 17 Hours, the book 17 Hours is all about. It's about, I want you. I like hop out of my bed and like, oh, let's go. Let's get started. Because I know people are like non-morning people like, oh my God, stop, you're killing me. But I wake up early. I love getting up early. I am done by 10 a.m. often with my sort of creation for my day. And also that's when I'm done with my major, the brilliant, intelligent, fantastic, powerful, high frequency stuff is, I don't know, 10, 11 a.m. I'm done. I have lunch, it's over. And then in the afternoon, I do different brain stuff, right? I'll do marketing or watch a course or learn something. So, all right, a little bit too much detail there. So the epilogue, that's it. Did you catch that? Writing from your future self as if the year is over and the year has been a whopping success. All right? Cool, right? Can you imagine that? Can you feel it? Can you feel how this is going to work? Can you feel how this one-word book is going to propel you to achieve, to succeed with the coming year? And this epilogue is going to be your forecast. We are forecasting, like the weather, we're not sure, but we're going to forecast our coming year based on this book. How are we doing? All right, I got to stop. This can you see? It's so early, and the Pepper's not even awake, right? It's so early. I'm at 27 minutes. I usually try to keep these things under 10. But this is the kind of excitement I would love to see in you, and that I think this one-word book, experiment, challenge, program, whatever you want to call it, is going to bring about. And why? Because, and I'm not going to say my word, but this for me is bringing the clarity of what this program is and how I can help the most people in the strongest way succeed for their coming year. And that's how I'm going to do it. And it's both with this book in a weekend and the Now What anthologies. Those are my two main points of attention for the coming year. If I had to choose one, oh boy, it's tough. I'd do book in a weekend, but I don't have to choose one. I can have two, and those are my two. And they're kind of related anyway, right? Because Now What is very much about, now what am I going to do with my life? Well, I can tell you now what you're going to do with your life. You can go write your one-word book. How's that for relating my two elements? Okay, that is it. You find out more at u.repossible.com/p/weekend. If you're listening to this for the first time and you don't know me, and you have gone through, oh my goodness, 30 minutes of me on an early morning, December 23rd, 2023, talking through my 2024. I hope this has been helpful. I hope it's been inspiring. If you're inspired to take the course, you know what? Let's do a coupon, because it's early. And if you have listened this far, I mean, really, you are awesome. And if you have listened this far, it's like you're the type of person who reads the manual. You're the type of person who has the patience and the endurance and the stamina and the wherewithal to finish something. So you are the type of person to get this thing done. All right. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little reindeer in there. Let's make it reindeer. I don't know actually how to spell reindeer. Is it R-E-I-N-D-E-E-R? I'm pretty sure that's it. So if you've listened to this, if you're all the way deep into this and you'd like to join the program, and remember, joining the program means you're in the course, in the teachable course, and that gives you access to all the course where I'm going to lay all this out in detail, including the software I use, including how to get your book formatted and even published, whether privately or publicly, and even how to make a cover and the software to do it all. And it's all free. And I know all of these tools because I use them. And then there's this one will get you into the Zoom, the live weekend. If you buy the course, you will have access to the Zoom call on January 19, 2021. And if you're not in, let me know and remind me of this really long podcast and YouTube video, and I will let you in, of course. But I will, that's the plan. If you are in the course, you are in the Zoom call weekend. So this is the part that I think maybe people find hard to believe, but I want you to succeed. And it's not just because when you succeed, I succeed, but that's part of it. But it's that here's a bigger statement for the entire planet. I think this 17 hours, I think the skipping dinner, the going to bed early, the wake up early, the meditate and the create, I think it makes for a better human race. I think I am happier, I'm more energetic, I'm more giving, I'm more loving, I'm more clear. And what if a large percentage of the population had this love and this care and this giving and this gratitude that I feel, especially in the mornings. And it's thanks to fasting, meditating, and creating, those three things. So that's really my goal for the planet. I think I really think that creating solves a lot of things. And I think I truly believe everybody should write a book. And not only everybody should write a book, everybody should write a book every single year. So I think that would solve world peace, if I dare be so bold. But hey, I dare be so bold. That's me. I'm allowed to be who I am. Okay, reindeer for 25% off the program. I am going to love to see the people who use the coupon code reindeer. So that's at u.repossible.com/p/weekend. Use the code reindeer. I will write you a personal note and say you are a rock star. And if I don't, write me back and say, Bradley, you said you'd call me a rock star. I will. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's R-E-I-N-D-E-E-R. And if it's not, then that's what I'm going to make it. Wow. Thank you so much for listening. And you know what's weird? This is for me. I'm doing this for me. Here you are at the end of the 30 minutes plus, and you're going to say, wait a minute, this is for him. But for me, it's for you, right? You have your own version of this. And I'd love to see you do your one-word book. I'm feeling like crazy passionate about this. I am up so early. I'm going to go work on it right now. I'm going to kick Pepper off my chair, have my chai, and get this thing rolling. And that's the kind of excitement, the kind of energy I want for you in the coming year. Let's do this every year. I'm going to do it every year. I mean, I already do it every year, but I'm going to do it every year in a group fashion. And I hope you join me. And thanks for listening. And have a great year.